So I changed physically first, and then I changed everything else after. All right. Which again, there's no perfect way to do it. It's just slowly implement those things back into your life.
It's your journey, yeah.
Right, the journey, and it could be different. And then the financial came. That's always been there for me, which is kind of weird. I've always had good jobs. I wasn't really good with money, but it's how to grow that financial stability for your family, for your businesses, from all that stuff, right?
Legacy, yeah.
The legacy. And that's the part where that's where the gym came in, and I'm doing all the side hustles and things that I do because I'm set up for myself, and it's generational. If we don't have kids yet, but when we do, they have Transform, they have the shoe company, they have all the things that I did, and then we do that together, right? And then the spiritual side, obviously Cass was LDS. I needed to really tap in because I'm Catholic. I still have my freaking cross. And that was the biggest thing, is how do I get closer to God, and what would God do? So in between all those things, man, I started really implementing everything from therapy, from the books, from the gym, from all my mentors are freaking millionaires. And then the spiritual was the hard part we I'm a hybrid, LDS and Catholic, right? My wife loves me no matter what, right? It's what we decided to do. We didn't go to the temple. We had a regular big asshole wedding, but the values and morals still need to be how you want your family to be, but also how you want to raise your kids, right? So now that you have a kid, are you guys Catholic or LDS?
Catholic would be the
right.
But she grew up LDS just now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now there's a balance, because now you're putting, two different worlds into one, and you don't know that yet because the baby's still, it's the choices that we make. And the biggest thing, man, was I'm like, okay, like where am I? What am I doing, man? Like I have everything, but I felt like everything was just gone like this. And again,
the illusion of permanence. All of a sudden, you're like,
yeah,
what's my foundation?
And I had the foundation, but I was lost. I was like in limbo. And again, man, I had to pick everything, and I was alone for a very long time. In between, try to go on dates. I just didn't. It didn't work for me. It wasn't for me, And Cass didn't talk to me for a while. We had a. But the problem is we were still working together. And what's crazy, man, is the business stayed the same, and that's just maturity. I treated her with respect. She treated me with respect. Nothing changed, because we had we've been together for almost 10 years, but we had history. And I am not going to change the way I am because my wife's still at the gym. She's working. She's there. She's seeing everybody. I wasn't going to take that away from her. Even though I messed up, I said, here, take everything. And for 2 years, you guys, I paid for the house. I paid for the bills. Like, I was still there. Why? Because that was my duty. That was my vow to make sure that I was still holding that strong. End of the day, either getting back together or getting divorced, I knew that I still stood and helped her through the shit that I caused.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you didn't know any of this, so now you know.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause you for 1 second.
Yeah.
Robbie, you hand me one of those. So what we did at the beginning of the year, and we are very much in the mentality here, that we sat down and we did. These are our the manifestation blueprints.
Hell
so we
yeah.
sat down and wrote all these out right here, and I just want to quickly get to. We did a couple more than you did. There's spiritual, there's health, which would go to your fitness. There's your emotional is in here somewhere. We did the exact same thing.
That is wild.
So the stuff that you're lining out, the only thing I don't think you have touched on was you haven't mentioned a choose your heart yet, and that would be the only one that's missing.
Right,
here.
right.
So it's all in there. What I find very interesting, and you come from a completely different realm than Rob. Rob's in real estate. I'm in criminal law. Alex in the criminal. Is at the prison criminal justice.
Oh,
Thank
sick.
You. All different walks of life. Okay, and you and I haven't spoken in a long time, but we're just
9 years.
It's been something
we
like
went
that.
to Applebee's.
That's right. That's right.
I remember our last
Hard to
day.
measure your macros at Applebee's. That's for sure.
Oh, there was no macro counting there. I know I had a chocolate cake.
Yeah. Something with gravy. Yeah. That's funny.
That is crazy.
What's interesting to me is I find all the truths in the carryovers. And you just lined this out. And Rob and I are sharing looks over here. You're the one on camera, but we're sharing looks because it's like, here's another one.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Every podcast, when we're talking to a high achiever, high thinker, high frequency,
Right.
This is what we talk about.
And that's what's crazy. And no matter, you guys, what realm you're in, this same shit applies to every single fucking person.
Yeah.
It's finding the mix.
Finding the mix.
There's a mix of taking care of your health, okay, the mental and spiritual parts, and structuring your brain.
Yep.
That's where everybody strives. I'm sure you have a morning routine.
Every day.
Every day. Yep. And I have no doubt that there's reading that's involved with that. Do you do a gratitude journal?
I do journaling at night, but it's the same thing. So I wake up, I meditate for 20, 25 minutes. I've really been tapping into just silence. And why I do it is because my world is very loud. I'm in chaos all the time. Right when I get to work. So I wake up, honestly, and I have 30 fucking messages. I have 20 emails. I have Instagram stuff. The biggest thing I learned, though, was from Jay Shetty. I don't touch my phone for the first hour of when I'm up. Wild, right? You do the same thing?
Just keep checking it off.
Fuck.
Just keep going.
Yeah. So I meditate in the morning. And sometimes, like, if I'm out of town, I'll text Cass. Say, hey, good morning, little things like that. But I never infiltrate myself into shit that I don't need to see or hear for my first hour, right? I make my bed. I meditate. Right now, I'm not reading any books. The last one I read was The One by Ed Milet. Really great book. If you guys need a book, that's the one you need to do. It goes through a lot of how to be the one in your family, how to create that path. So write that down. So I would do, 20. Usually it's like 15 pages. Like, you don't have to go into it. It's just kind of setting up that mindset in the morning, get your brain going. And then usually if I'm on prep, I would do fasted cardio. That gets your physical out of the way. And then I would start my day. And we have a kitchen at the gym, so I have everything there. So I go in, I do my meal, and then I start with work. So right when I go into work and I get in my car, this is why I love messages, because I could just go, hey, boom, voice message next, voice message, boom. And I just write everybody out. Right when I get to work, I have my first appointment. So from 9 a.m., I've done 5 things for me. No one else. Now, when I'm at home, we have the dogs, right? So we put them outside. It's the same routine every single morning. And Cass does really a good job with the dogs, too, because it's the same thing every morning. I leave, and then she goes, whatever. The house is cleaned up, da-da-da. And then, yeah. And the last 7 years have been the exact same schedule. I eat my pre-workout meal at 12:30 to 1 p.m. I'm lifting from 1:30 to about 3. And if I have cardio, I'll do it a little bit after. And then I see my appointments from 4 to 5. 6 or 7, depending on the day. And then I go home, I do my journaling, and then my phone goes down. That's it.
Done for the day.
And in between, my schedule is my best friend. If you guys aren't scheduling your every fucking hour, you are out of your mind.
Yeah, you're not
Especially
living a life of intention.
Exactly. It's being intentional. My meal, we'll put up a picture of my schedule. But yeah, my meals are on there, my appointments. Like right when I texted Topher, I was like, hey, what time? 7:15. Hey, this is my time frame. Because I need to know how far this is from here, because I have to go home after this. Or I don't want to leave you guys on, bad. So, okay, I'm going to time it out so we can do it this time. And that's the bodybuilding way, though. The bodybuilding taught me that. Because my ass had to be up at a certain time, do this amount of cardio, have this amount of meals, this amount of calories. I would count my fucking almonds perfected every day, 25 almonds every single day, But that's what? Rewiring. So now I see everything like that. I'm drinking my Diet Coke for the day. Okay, and then I have this, and tomorrow I have da-da-da. I know my schedule in advance because I prepared myself for that.
I was reading a book that Anyway, they referenced a gentleman, very successful. It'll come to me. But he talked about how freeing it was to have the schedule. Like I just surrendered to the schedule. Also, he didn't have that many choices in clothing. Like he wore a black shirt with black pants. Like he would get up and you know what I mean. Like
Mark Zuckerberg did the exact same thing.
That's who it was. It was Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes,
that's what it was.
And that's being intentional because you don't want to
burn bandwidth.
That's my bad because I have a different shoe every single day, and my outfit. I'm a diva.
Yeah. He's pretty.
But but the same thing. I pick out I know what I'm gonna wear the next day.
Yeah.
So when I wake up, I know my shoes, the color, whatever. I put my outfit on and I go.
It's all laid out?
It's all laid out.
Nice.
You know, sometimes I know, like, but I'm also very OCD. And he knows this. Like, my cleats was clean, everything. And I don't know why I was like that. My mother is very overwhelmingly clean. And from a young age.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Are you, what day?
28th November.
That's why.
That's why?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me.
Go ahead.
Just there's a propensity for organization. There's a peace that's found in organization and having things kind of put together in a way that makes sense. You find when you have chaos, when you have that extra layer of chaos, you can live in it, but you find security in like these little details. Like, I know that my car keys are right here, and I know that all of my shoes are right this way. Like, there's just is a false sense of security from these Sagittarians believing that they've got it's control.
It's control. Yeah. So, but that's the thing. There's a difference. It's controlling your life or people and like your wife and, you know, being a dick.
You're choosing your controllables.
And you choose your controllables.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. And I realized when I was going through my changes that I wanted to control everything. And it's being in a place where you don't need to control anything, but still be secure enough to withstand your controllables.
That's a lot of wisdom. That's a lot of wisdom, because you're surrendering to this. I got this. I can do this. But this is out of my control.
That comes from ego.
The illusion, right?
And the illusion.
Yeah, believing that you're in control and ego. I think those go right hand in hand, and I think there's a tremendous amount of wisdom there, Luis. That knowing this is what I've got, and everything else. Here you go, God.
And that's the thing. And a lot of people put so much. People they get so overwhelmed, so overpacked, because they don't know how to spread their life out and be like, oh, okay, my life isn't really that bad. I just look at it from a different perspective. There's no way I can do what I do so much without having these little patterns and these little things, because one, it's just easy for me. And I wish people could really understand, like, once you find you and your purpose and your passion and who you are as a person, like, all those answers will get answered. I mean, all those questions will get answered.
Rob, why would somebody want to watch this podcast?
Why wouldn't you? We have a good time. You're going to learn something. And by the way, it's awesome. You should click it. You should watch it. Thanks for tuning in.
Subscribe right now.